Welcome to Sunday School for Sunday, August 13th, 2023, for our senior high students ages 15 to 17. I do not own the rights to this music. Today's Bible basis is coming out of Nehemiah chapter 9, verse 2, verses 6 and 7, verses 9 and 10, and then verses 30 through 36. The Bible Truth, Community of Confession. The title of today's story, To Tell the Truth. Sherry was beyond excited. It was the first Friday night she was allowed to hang out with her friends. Just the girls, no adults. They were hitting the mall and the movies before heading back to Taylor's place for a slumber party. She knew that her parents really trusted her. It was surreal. The girls tumbled out of Taylor's car and excitedly headed into the mall. Umph! Sherry ran smack into John Claude. "Watch your step," he said as he smiled down at her. Sherry blushed. "Sorry about that." John Claude glanced at the other girls who were giddy with excitement before turning his attention back to Sherry. "Hey, Joe's parents are gone for the weekend, so he's throwing a huge party. You're coming, right? It starts in about an hour." "We have other plans," said Sherry. "Maybe next time." "Plans change all the time," Taylor interjected. "We'll be there." As Jean-Claude left, Sherry said, "Wait, what about the movie?" "You're kidding," said Bianca. Angie shook her head. "The hottest guy in school just asked you to a party tonight." "Yeah, but I told my mom we were going to the movies, then to Taylor's." "Look," said Taylor, we'll still end up at my place, and we'll just tell your mom we skipped the theater to watch a DVD. No biggie. She'll never even know." Sherry was miserable the entire time they were at the party. She couldn't believe how crazy everyone was acting. She was grateful that Taylor at least honored the curfew her parents set. When Taylor dropped Sherry off the next morning, her mother was standing there with a huge smile on her face. "So how'd it go? Did you have tons of fun?" Sherry sighed. "Mom, I have something to tell you." The lesson scripture, Nehemiah chapter 9, verse 2, verses 6 and 7, verses 9 and 10, and then verses 30 through 36. "And the seed of Israel separated themselves from all strangers, and stood and confessed their sins and the iniquities of their fathers. Thou, even thou, art Lord alone. Thou hast made heaven, the heaven of heavens, with all their host, the earth, and all things that are therein, the seas and all that is therein, and thou preservest them all, and the host of heaven worshipeth thee. Thou art the Lord the God, who didst choose Abram, and broughtest him forth out of Ur of the Chaldees, and gavest him the name of Abraham, and didst see the affliction of our fathers in Egypt, and heardest their cry by the Red Sea, and showest signs and wonders upon Pharaoh, and on all his servants, and on all the people of his land. For thou knewest that they dealt proudly against them. So didst thou get thee a name, as it is this day. Yet many years didst thou forbear them, and testifiest against them by thy Spirit in thy prophets. Yet they would not give ear. Therefore gavest thou them into the hand of the people of the lands. Nevertheless, for thy great mercy's sake, thou didst not utterly consume them, nor forsake them. For thou art a gracious and merciful God. Now therefore, our God, the great, the mighty, and the terrible God, who keepeth covenant and mercy, let not all the trouble seem little before thee that have come upon us, on our kings, on our princes, and on our priests, and on our prophets, and on our fathers, and on all thy people, since the time of the kings of Assyria unto this day. Howbeit thou art just in all that is brought upon us. For thou hast done right, but we have done wickedly. Neither have our kings, our princes, nor our priests, nor our fathers kept thy law, nor hearkened unto thy commandments and thy testimonies, wherewith thou didst testify against them. For they have not served thee in their kingdom, and in thy great goodness that thou gavest them, and in the large and fat land which thou gavest before them. Neither turn they from their wicked works. Behold, we are servants this day, and for the land that thou gavest unto our fathers, to eat the fruit thereof, and the good thereof. Behold, we are servants in it. Sometimes we're in the wrong through no fault of our own. Maybe we've grown up in a pattern of wrongdoing, not realizing there's a better way to live. God understands and makes it easy for us to confess where we've gone wrong. Since unrighteousness can never be in His presence, God opens our eyes to the error of our ways and makes it easy for us to confess and make things right with Him. Questions from our story today. Number 1. Explain Sherry's excitement about spending time with her friends. Question 2. What do you think Sherry told her mother? And question 3. Do you think Sherry took responsibility for what happened? Explain your answer. The questions from our lesson scripture. Question 1. Explain why the Israelites separated themselves from everyone else. Question 2. How did God demonstrate mercy to His people despite their disobedience? And question 3. What led to the slavery of the Israelite descendants? Make sure to write down your answers. Talk to God and write a prayer about how you have been dishonest with Him and yourself. The memory verse for today's lesson. And the seed of Israel separated themselves from all strangers, and stood and confessed their sins and the iniquities of their fathers. And that's Nehemiah chapter 9, verse 2. The end. God bless you, and thank you for joining me today.